Yes! Alrighty! What's up, everybody? It is I, your travel god of extreme, Peter Joseph here for a Tuesday afternoon video. Right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button down in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below, on this channel and my other channels as well. Show your love and support for the channels. Leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos on my respective channels from the past, the present, and the future, Conan. But don't leave stupid comments. You get sent to the Shadow Realm, and Satan and Ozzy will eat your fucking soul! So don't do it. You want to do it, go to some other channel and do that, or go to your dead channel and do it there, because you ain't gonna do it on mine. If you don't like it, tough shit. And that's that. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you do, you need to get slapped in the face. Because you're SOL, you know what that means. If you don't know what it means, you get slapped again. Pretty much, that's it. Slap it like it's your bass guitar. Or something else. And that's pretty much it. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab that cold one. Yes, I got Burger King today because me and Rosa had a craving for chicken fries. But, you know, it is what it is. Gotta love those chicken fries. Mozzarella fries. Rosa had that. I had the chicken fries, so I tasted the mozzarella fries. Not bad. Not that bad, but, you know. I like mozzarella sticks, not fries per se, but, it is what it is. So we had a little craving, but yeah. Grab yourself a nice tasty cold one. Coke in here, by the way. And sit back, relax, enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You know, well, fuck you, man. And that's pretty much it. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, on this Tuesday evening, well, I guess you could say Tuesday evening. The sun is down here in the Northeast. But whatever you may be, Tuesday, it's Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday! I wish I had a taco, but I have one in the fridge, but later. That's an empanada, not a taco, but I'll have the other's taco later, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Pink taco! That's what I'm gonna have later. Anyway. But on this Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, whatever you may be, December the 16th, 2025. We're 9 days away from Christmas on level 49. We're pretty much 2 weeks away from the end of the year. What can I say? This year is finally gonna end. And 2026 will be here. And hopefully, you know, we can wipe the slate clean, start fresh. And hopefully for some of us, we have a good 2026. But we shall see what happens after that sphere drops. Pretty much 15 days, 6.5 hours from now. And that's it. We'll be done. So get your holiday shopping done now. Because if you do it by this time next week, you might not get what you want, so. And I know if you order online, if you don't have Amazon Prime or whatever, you might not get it by Christmas, so. You might get the after Christmas stuff, and then you can get the after Christmas sales, and then hopefully you get it by New Year's or maybe after the New Year, depending on, you know, where you're getting it shipped from and all that other shit. But it is what it is. And, that's pretty much it. Alright, hope everybody had a great Tuesday. A little bit warmer here today in the Northeast. Not much, but, you know, ice is slowly melting. Tomorrow's going to be a little bit warmer, about 40 degrees. And then, getting about an inch of rain on Friday, but it's going to be like near 60. Woohoo! 60 on Friday, then down the drain on Saturday, and then pretty much up and down until Christmas. And so, for some of you, you might get a white Christmas. Rain about my neck of the woods. Might get a rain-snow mix on Tuesday. And then on Christmas Day, we might get something. Hopefully not, but I don't know. But it's going to be not going to be that cold on Christmas Day here in my neck of the woods, but, winter is going to start in 5 days, pretty much on Sunday, officially. So we got that, and then, we'll see if it's going to be a really bad winter in the Northeast, and if not, well, too bad. But we already got 2 to 4 inches here the other day. Broke my back. No wonder my back's been killing me the last couple of days. Besides the heavy lifting, if you know what I mean. But I digress on that. But good shit. Good shit. So we're ending the year, hopefully with a Gilmore cutter-like. Hold on. Stay there! Bang! And that's pretty much it. Alright, we got NXT coming your way in a couple hours. Should be a pretty good show. The actual... this week is live. Next week is taped. So they're doing a double taping tonight. Should be a good show. Got a fatal 4-way tonight to see who faces Oba, the Ruler, the Destroyer, the Bringer of Words, Wakanda. That's Oba, who, Femi. That's coming at New Year's Eve, January the 6th. So we see that on NXT tonight on the CW11. We got the lovely Blake Monroe. Oh my. She defends her Women's North American Championship against the crazy cheerleader, Thea Hale. See how that goes. What else we have tonight? We got Lainey Reed and the Speed Champion, the former woman, Fallon, don't call her Dawn Henley, taking on the Evolve Women's Champion, Kendall Gray, and my girl, Maddie Winkowski, in a women's tag team match, and a whole lot more tonight on your 2-hour cure for insomnia on the CW11 NXT. So, we got that. And don't forget tomorrow, AEW Dynamite and Collision Holiday Bash. 3-hour show, because I don't know why Collision's not going to be on this weekend. But, there is no, we're in Wales, so, actually, Manchester, England today. So they're taping it tomorrow. We'll see it live here on the States at 8. So, but it's a 3-hour show. I don't know why. Oh, yeah, that's right, because they're going to be in New York this weekend. I completely forgot that. So, for Dynamite, the Dynamite Christmas show, Christmas on 34th Street, which will happen on Christmas Eve, it's taped. And then on Christmas Day, taped, and that is Christmas Collision. And then we're back live on New Year's Eve for New Year's Smash. We got that. And I will be at Collision this Sunday, so I'm happy for that. But I'm not sitting ringside, I didn't get great seats. I wish, but, next time, maybe. Next time I come to the Hammer scene, or they come to the New York area, maybe I'll get some better seats, but, at least, and it's not terrible balcony seats. The first balcony, I can see the whole thing, obviously. First couple rows, not bad. Didn't have to pay a lot for that muffler. But it is what it is, and that's it. I'm gonna enjoy an early Christmas present. You know what I mean? Like I did last year. When I went to Dynamite, Rampage, Final Battle, then Collision, then on that Sunday, that taping for Dynamite, that was long. I tell you the truth. I had no voice almost by the end of that shit. It was just a great time. The final Rampage, where the lights went out, they're still fighting. It was funny. Well, we'll see what happens this year with Christmas Collision when I go. And Dynamite on Saturday night at the Hammer. Steen, not Stein, it's Steen, because Kevin Steen built that shit back in 2011. But I digress on that. There we go. Good stuff this weekend. Great stuff. And you're not going to be there, so kiss my ass. And that's it. So, hope you have a great week, and everything else. But we'll talk about all that later. I will be doing my AEW Dynamite and Collision review from last week in a little bit. Not now, but later. When will it be now? Soon. Pretty much. Oh, by the way, me and Rosa watched the Princess Bride last night because of Rob Reiner. Rob Reiner passing away yesterday. Sunday yesterday, but his son, oh boy, his son, 32-year-old schmuck, 2 counts of first-degree murder. See you in hell, bitch. Just because he had a fight with his dad at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party. Over what? I don't know. Probably politics. Because you know how Rob Reiner does not like Donald Trump. Who doesn't these days, But that's pretty much it. And speaking of Donald Trump, let's get to the video at hand. I'm going to do some... I'm bringing in a little concept. Well, not a concept per se, but... Back in my day, I was on the radio, when I was in college radio, and I had a sports show with a lot of good friends on that show. We used to do a segment, pretty much the first half hour to hour of the show, we did the front page news with the top stories and headlines in the world of sports. So I'm kind of bringing that into my channel. I've done this before on various days, but, various videos. I've done front page news of the top stories on the front page of pretty much ringsidenews.com, the Bible of all sports, even though it's fake. Some of the stories are, So, why not do one today? The big news on the front page of ringsidenews.com is Mick Foley, our good buddy Mick. Cactus Jack, Dude Love, and, other incarnations of that guy. But anyway, Mick Foley, and he's had a lot of, he's said a lot of things about Donald Trump, this and that. But Mick Foley has quit the WWE. Bye-bye, so long, farewell to you. He has cut ties with the WWE, and he's also putting some names on that, too. Uh-oh. Just one day after publicly slamming Donald Trump for his Rob Reiner comments, which I didn't like myself. I'm a Trump supporter, but what he said, that kind of, he lost some brownie points with me. I mean, not some, I should say a lot. Still supporting the guy, but still, if he ran for president today, I still vote for the guy. Would be better off him than that bitch Kamala Harris and Sleepy Joe Biden or anybody else who ran against him. But I digress. I'm not making this political, but anyway. So he publicly slammed Donald Trump, called out fellow WWE stars, and he's good friends with Linda McMahon. And who is Linda McMahon's best friend? That's right, Donald Trump, because she's the Secretary of Education or something like that. So he's not so happy with Linda McMahon. Vince McMahon's a good buddy of Donald Trump, Triple H as well, I think. Oy. Anyway, so he announced that he's parting ways with the company over his continued relationship with the president. Oh no, right, Ringside News said former president. Fix your stuff, you fuck! Steve Carrier, you fucking idiot. Whoever writes your articles needs to, proofread a little bit. Or maybe just give me the job. I'm saying. Not that I want to work for Ringside News. But, But anyway, the breaking point came in at the aftermath of the shocking murder of filmmaker Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle, who were found stabbed to death in their LA home on Sunday, thanks to their son Nick. And as Hollywood and pretty much everybody mourned Donald Trump, posted a Truth Social message. I hate that fucking website, Truth. At least you could have done it on Blue Sky. I mean, yeah. That's the fake Twitter. Anyway. That stunned even his own supporters and his own, pretty much his own party, basically. The Republican Party, like, what the fuck? He used a tragedy to mock Reiner, linking his death to so-called Trump derangement syndrome. And this is what he said, and I quote, "A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling but once very talented movie director and comedy star from All in the Family, has passed away together with his wife, Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as TDS, or Trump Derangement Syndrome. He was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Trump, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness. And with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before, may Rob and Michelle rest in peace," which they should. It's tragic that they got killed by a moron like their son Nick. But I digress. The backlash was immediate, and musician Jack White, remember him? You know him. If you don't know who Jack White is, then you don't know music. Who is he, Peter? He's the lead, was the lead singer of the White Stripes with his sister. But anyway, if you don't know Seven Nation Army, then you don't know music. I'm just saying. Anyway. Alright, Jack White the Third. He said, "Trump, you disgusting, vile, egomaniac, loser child." What, you CM Punk? Nepo baby. Neither he nor any of his followers can defend this gross, horrible insult to a beautiful artist who gave the world so much. To use someone's tragic death to promote your own vanity and fascist authoritarian agenda is a corrupt and narcissistic sin. Shame on you, Trump, and anyone who defends this. God bless you, Rob Reiner, and thank you for what you gave the world. I never even met you, and I still stand by you. And that's Jack White. And like I said, I don't condone what Trump said in his little tirade or whatever it was. He's got too much shit to worry about in America and in the world, and he has to say this shit. Focus on America, focus on affordability, getting those $2,000 checks out next year, and why are you worrying about what people say? You know? No wonder your approval rating's like 30-something% and dropping. Oy. He's doing so much. Gas prices down. Eggs are $5. Where in America is gas down? I mean, I saw a picture in Hartford, Connecticut that was like gas was like $2.30. I mean, my neck of the woods is like $2.90. Last time I checked, it was $2.90. No, near $3. I mean, a few months ago, it was like under $2 at one point here, like about almost a year ago. That was good, but now it's like sky high again. And then he's like, "Oh, inflation is down. Prices at the supermarket's going down. Yet we're buying carton of eggs still for like $6 to $8, gallon of milk for $8. You know, I think you need your fact check. You know, whoever's telling you this is like doesn't go to the supermarket lately. You know, I'm just saying. All right, so Mick Foley quickly reposted that on Instagram, didn't even hold back, calling out his peers in WWE, and he said, "What Jack White," official Jack White said here is spot on. How any of my at WWE colleagues can stand by, let alone stand next to, this man is beyond me. He was mad. That was on Sunday. yesterday, he took it a step further, cutting ties with WWE in a powerful post. And he said, parting ways with WWE, while I have been concerned about WWE's close relationship with Donald Trump for several months, reading the president's incredibly cruel comments in the wake of Rob Runner's death is the final straw for me. I no longer wish to represent a company that coddles a man, a man so seemingly void of compassion as he marches our country towards autocracy. You mean democracy. But I digress. Last night I informed at WWE Talent Relations that was not Mr. John Laurinaitis. Johnny Laurinaitis! People power, baby! That I would not be making any appearances for the company as long as this man remains in office. But then the most definitive announcement came right after that, and he revealed he will not renew his Legends contract when it expires next year. And he said, and I quote, additionally, I will not be signing a new Legends deal when my current one expires in June. Okay, it's next June. I love WWE. Okay, Kozlov. I love WWE! Will always treasure my time with them, and I am deeply appreciative for all the opportunities they afforded me. Excuse me. So, Mick didn't hold back. I mean, he was mad. And I kind of agree because, Donald Trump, sometimes he has a big mouth, and he doesn't think sometimes. He just goes on the fly, doesn't give a shit what people say about him, doesn't care about his approval rating. He just wants to make America great again. You don't like it, you're fired. You're fired. Stuff like that. But, yeah. He's mad. He's not only mad at Trump, he's mad at others that, he worked with. And everything, and, yeah. So he gone. Pretty much he gone. Now, I don't know if he wanted to, he can go talk to Tony Khan, he can talk to Caldo Silver, and he can just sit at home with his fat ass and do nothing. Maybe write more books. I don't know, but... I don't know. But, if I'm in a company and, the boss says something really stupid, or him or her does something stupid, I'm like, why am I working here? I don't want to work here with a egomaniac or, somebody who sleeps with his clients or some shit. Just does something weird. I'm like, why am I working here? I mean, when Vince was around, a good buddy Vincent Kennedy McMahon was around doing his whole sexual predator shit, or whatever, sexual deviancies, let's say, with John Laurinaitis and company. You think any real person would want to work for Vince, knowing how creepy he is? Especially the ladies in WWE? And I'm like, I don't want to work with a pervert. This fucking old 75-year-old guy with no balls, That great farts, And then having to basically devalue yourself just to please Vince. He'll take you into his office like, take off your top, or you're fired, Woman's like, no, you're fired, Get out of here. I mean, yeah, Vince is a creepy bastard, we all know that. But, like I said, I would not want to work in WWE under Vince, or even Triple H if we found out that he did something weird. I did something weird with my proboscis nose, Stephanie. Anyway, but yeah, I don't blame Mick one bit. I do not. Hey, if his friends want to continue to support Trump, fine. But, you know, he has his own opinion about Trump. You know, he should have his own opinion. But if he wants to leave, then leave. Get out of here. We don't need you. Get out of here. That's what I say. Get out. We won't miss you. And as we always say, have fun in your future endeavors. So, Mick, go have fun with Tony Khan and whatever you do, okay? Would you like some Doritos? No. I have some Doritos, but not now. They're really tasty. Okay. You take your Doritos, you take your opinion of my boy, Donald Trump, and you can go over there. And have fun, with, whatever. What do you think, Terry? I think Cactus is a piece of shit. Okay, Terry, that's a little bit extreme. But did you know I was a hardcore legend in Japan? Japan, #1. Forever! And ever! Okay, Terry, that's enough. You go talk to Richard Nixon and, whoever, okay? Ronald Reagan, whoever. Get him, go talk to them. Hello, do jelly beans. Okay, Ron, stop now. I am not a cook. Oh, my impressions are cringe, right? I should have been a comedian. Could have made millions of dollars. Oh, they're cringe. Then why are you still watching it, though? Somebody in Issa's, I was talking about Rob Reiner, and I did it. We're talking about, All in the Family and everything, and, Meathead and everything. So, me being the impressionist that I am, did a great Edith Bunker impression. Oh, Archie! Would you like another beer, Archie? Gloria and Michael, they're such nice people, Archie! Why do you call him Meathead? He's a fucking idiot! No, I can't do an Archie Bunker impression, I can't. I wish, but... All the way to morning play. Songs that made the hit parade. Okay. Archie! Never mind, I'm not gonna go there. I do the Edith gets eaten out by Archie impression, but I'm not gonna do that. It's a family show. I'm thinking about it too. I'm not gonna do it. I did it for Rosa once. She's like, what the fuck? You, man. What's wrong with you? What's with you, man? She gives great helmet. Okay. I gotta stop now. Anyway, so yeah. I don't blame Mick for leaving. If he has his own political views, that's him. If he wants to leave WWE and do something else with his life, more power to him. But I don't think he can go to AEW until June anyway. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to go to AEW, but I still have a Legends contract to deal with. Not like a 90-day clause or anything. Like, he's going to leave like Andrade left and then, crazy. By the way, big ups to Andrade, the Universal Champion of Puerto Rico! How do you know? I don't know. How do you know? I don't know. Why are you so crazy? Take it easy. Take it easy, tranquila. Mommy. Okay. But yeah, big ups to Andrade. Take that, WWE. And now they wanna, I heard, they wanna, strip him of the belt because he violated the no-clause contract. Dumb. Let him have the belt. He has another belt in Crash Wrestling anyway. You gotta strip him of that too? Just let the man wrestle. Who gives a fuck about a contract? It's a binding contract. Fuck that. It don't work. Anyway, moving on. Alright, some other stories on the front page of Ringside News. Raquel Rodriguez had that match with La Primera, Stephanie Vercurra, last night for the Raw Women's Championship. They got ruined by that slut, Nikki Smelly Bella, who basically threw Raquel into the ring steps, and you saw that big, huge bump on her head. Woo, what a bump that was. I'm not talking about a back bump or anything like that. Her head looked like a big-ass pimple was on her head. Shit. But, and she has a little post-Raw promo on the YouTube page. She laid into Nikki. She said, I don't care about the title. I'm coming to kick your fucking ass, Bella. Oh, shit. So, Raquel Rodriguez is placed in concussion protocol right now. So, I don't know what's going to happen with that. So, next week is going to be taped on Friday. So, I don't think she's going to be on the show, per se, this Monday night. I think she's going to come back on the live show December the 29th. So we'll see what happens with that. But it looks like we're going to get a triple threat match, probably on the January 5th edition of Raw from the Barclays Center for the Raw Women's Championship. So, Stephanie will take on Nikki and take on Raquel, and the rumor last night was that Raquel was going to win the belt and then turn on, most likely, Roxanne Perez and then sort of feud with Liv Morgan, or turn on Liv Morgan and start the feud with her. That's that way, because it makes no sense to turn on Roxanne and then give Liv a title shot. You're in the same group. I don't get it. Okay. Alright, we get that, and we move on. Alright, here's something interesting. WWE has allegedly wanted Cody, Undertaker Cody, you bitch. WWE wanted Cody to be the next John Cena. Right. Cody, the next John, right. There will never be another John Cena. You think Cody will be the next John Cena? Cody could be the new spokesperson for NyQuil. Or ZQuil, really, because his promos put people to sleep. Like Roman said with John Cena's promos half the time, they're like missionary position every single night. Ugh! That's Punk and Cody's promos every week, almost. It's sickening. They can't just do what Roman does, smack that ass, Missionary position's boring. Unless you, you put the legs up in missionary position, then you know what you're doing. Then it's a good time. But straight missionary is boring. What do you want to do tonight, Missy, what do you want to do tonight, wifey? Just fuck me. I don't care. Just get on top, just grill me, and that's it. What, I gotta do all the work? My back hurts. I wonder why. We don't do that here, so. We just get it on like Donkey Kong. That's it. Alright, so yeah. We move on. Alright, as we saw last night on Monday Night Raw, the Masked Man finally revealed himself, and it was a bald-headed Austin Theory. I mean, I swear, I was like, wait a minute, is that The Miz? His eyes, I thought it was The Miz for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, is that The Miz? No, it's Austin Theory with a new haircut. Like, he got buzz cut. He went to the army. Be a man in the army, cut your hair. Something like that. Alright, so we got that. Alright, WWE's current plans for Brock Lesnar coming up at Mania have been revealed. And he will be there at Mania to do what? Well, I'll tell you in a minute. A According to Self-Made Pro, during the latest Self-Made session, I don't know what Self-Made Pro it is, probably some lame as fuck podcast, WWE is now planning the dream match fans have been waiting for: Brock Lesnar versus Walter. Wait a minute, what? Mania? No. Why Mania? Isn't Brock supposedly retiring and SummerSlam is in Minnesota? I would do it right there. Why are we doing this at Mania? And for a title. Anyway, however, it wasn't always the plan, as it was originally going to be the Ring General Walter taking on Braun Breaker for the World Heavyweight title. So the article says, and I quote, Walter is definitely working Brock. That sounds wrong. Working Brock at Mania. It was originally going to be Braun Breaker versus Brock for the title, but now that Braun Breaker is set to get a title match at Mania, so you know he's not winning on January 5th. It's probably going to be, I think, Punk wins. Braun gets all pissy, tells Anna Pace, I want to get in the Rumble! He gets in the Rumble, which he was slated to win anyway. You know, there was a leak that Solo was going to win, then Sami Zayn was going to win, now it's Braun Breaker. So I would have Braun definitely win the Rumble, go to Mania, possibly face Roman, face Cody, well, probably be Punk again. I don't know, we'll see what happens with that. But now that Braun Breaker is set to get a title match there, Brock is facing Walter. Still, great match. But at Mania, yes, I do at Mania. Well, I would really do it at SummerSlam, since Brock is allegedly retiring next year. But anyway, the title match update confirms what Wrestling Observer's Uncle Dave Meltzer previously reported, that WWE is building two massive World Championship matches for the WrestleMania 42 card, which includes CM Punk defending the WWE World Heavyweight title against Braun Breaker, and I assume Cody versus Roman. And you know Roman's gonna smash that fucking piece of shit. And we get that. I think Uncle, and the story says, I guess this is from Uncle Dave. Punk getting pinned, that finish was there to tell the story. That Braun pinning Punk at Survivor Series War Games. The idea is we're supposed to know WrestleMania, which is Cody and Roman, and Punk and Braun Breaker are the championship matches. Like I said, card subject to change. So we don't know if it would be Roman and Cody, or Braun versus Punk in any way, a rematch or whatever. Brock versus Walter is a physical dream match that many have been clamoring for a long time, which includes the Ring General himself. With Braun getting elevated into a world title bout, WWE pivoted fast, and fans may have just won huge. Next year's Mania lineup is stacking up to be one of the hardest hitting in recent memory, and that Brock and Walter will be a show stealer. I think it's going to be a hard-hitting match. It's going to be a big, beefy man slapping meat match. I wonder who Issa would root for. Probably Brock. You know, she has now a, little thing for Mr. Walter. But we get all that. Alright. Moving on from that. Let's reload the page. WWE officials very pleased with NXT stars at Cena's retirement match. Oba, one of them, he's definitely going to the main roster. I think he'll be in the Royal Rumble match. Javon Evans, we saw him on Raw last night. He's getting a match next week with El Grande, actually not El Grande Americano, but Rayo Americano, which is Pete fucking Dunne. So Bravo, we all know, is Tyler Bate. And El Grande Americano, we know, is Ludwig Kaiser. Or Marcel Barthel. We get that. Alright, so they're gonna bump a lot of people up at that show. So Ruka, Oba, Javon, maybe JC Jane and maybe just JC of Fatal Influence. I don't know if they're gonna bring up all of them, but But to see what happens with that, Kehlani Jordan being another one, maybe Jordan Grace, maybe Lola Vice. I think that Raw after Mania, we're going to see a lot of NXT stars. But at the Royal Rumble, in those Rumble matches, we're definitely going to see some NXT stars. Now, after the Rumble, if they're going to be on Raw and SmackDown, that remains to be seen. But we saw Oba on Raw. It was nice. We saw Javon Evans on SmackDown. Now we saw him last night on Raw. We saw Soruka at Saturday's main event. We haven't seen Kehlani on the main roster yet. Lola Vice, the same thing. Lash Legend got elevated to the main roster. She's on SmackDown now in a team with Nia Jax, which is great for her. And I just see a lot more NXT stars being the future Conan of WWE. So, like, the old farts should be gone pretty soon. You know, now that people are saying that Cena is gone, people are saying that Roman is the face of the company. Well, he was. He is. He is the face. You think Cody is the face? No. After he beat Roman, people calling Cody the face of the WWE? Huh? Just because he beat my tribal chief? Face my ass. He's the face of, just... Ugh. He's the face of NyQuil for all I care. Fuck him. That's that. What else can we talk about here? Alright, let me reload the page once again, because we might got some breaking news. You never know. Let's see here. Let's go down the page. Alright, got some Braun Strowman news, if you care. Braun Strowman reveals he suffered panic attacks after WWE fame exploded. Wow. Panic attacks because you were a big star, former champion in your own right, and a Continental champion, tag team champion, I believe. World champion, I think, too. I could be wrong. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, you get the pressure. I understand that. You know, you're going in front of millions of people. Yeah, you could get panic attacks. Mommy Rhea Ripley would tell you that at Mania. But you gotta learn how to handle that pressure and all, getting in front of a big crowd and everything. Musicians do it. Actors do it. Actresses. Even porn stars, and they get nervous doing a love scene and shit with somebody they don't even know. They never worked with this guy or girl before. I'm like, they get a little bit nervous. So, even in real life, people get panic attacks. I get them. I get them all. Not all. Well, I get them all. Not all the time, but I have my share of panic attacks every so often. I know how to control it. Besides medication, I listen to some bombastic rock and roll, but then I'm fine. I'm good. Moving on. Also, he blasts modern WWE stars for leaving before the main event ends. So, all these big time people like, I'm gonna leave, I gotta, catch a flight, I gotta do this and that. They don't wanna, they don't wanna leave, they wanna stay for the main event. It's a big, huge main event. They wanna leave, they wanna catch an early flight, they don't wanna stay and go out to dinner, have a big, juicy steak at Applebee's or some shit. They wanna leave, I'm like, I got somewhere to go, I got other things to do. They don't want to hang with the boys. They don't want to hang with the girls. They want to get out of here. Go to my hotel and sleep it off or some shit. I mean, he has a gripe. I stay. I got nothing to do. Unless I have to go if another, I'm booked for another event, like, the next day. I have to get out of there. I don't want to go to my hotel room at 3 a.m. and I gotta be at Buffalo, New York, Gene. I'm like in California or some shit. I gotta be in Buffalo the next day. And I gotta be, I have an event like at 7 o'clock at night. and I gotta go cross country, 5-hour flight one way, unless I take a connecting flight. That's a lot more. With delays, you never know. Weather, shit like that. You don't want to be there, so you don't want, like, alright, I'm gonna, I fought like at 8:30 at night. I'm gonna shower, I'm gonna get dressed, and I'm out the arena. I'm gonna go to my hotel, check out, or maybe, go to my hotel, check out, or whatever you're gonna do. Maybe get a late night snack, go to the airport, get on the plane, go to Buffalo or whatever, get there like at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, or whatever time you get there, blah, blah, blah. You get there, you check into your hotel, and then you have a nice little sleep, or you sleep on the plane, and then you get to Buffalo, you meet your escort, whatever, you gotta do in Buffalo. I'm just hyper saying Buffalo. But you get to Buffalo, you check in, you get a nice little rest, maybe, some breakfast. You chill for a little bit, then you go to the arena, do your pre-match shit, and then you have your match, and then if you don't have to go anywhere the next day, you can go back, you can hang out with the boys or the girls, and get a late night meal or whatever, party, live it up, go back to your hotel room, sleep, and then you spend the next day in Buffalo, or you stay there for a little bit, and then if I have to I have to go to Hershey, Pennsylvania, or something like that, take the rental car, or if I'm, one of my buddies is wrestling with me on the same show, hang with him, like, hey, let's go to Pittsburgh, or something like that. So, yeah, I got his gripe right there. Alright, Maxine receives major props internally after recent character-building promos. So yeah, Maxine Dupree, with her new tough girl gimmick, and having Natty Neidhart, or basically Natty, helping her out. We've seen those promos with both of them at the dungeon, basically. And Maxine, I think Maxine has improved dramatically. Her promos are getting better. In ring, not so good, Al, but now that Natty's behind her, teaching her submission moves and getting tougher in the ring, maybe cutting some good promos, she's getting a lot better. We first saw Maxine in the ring, and she was so fucking green, meaning not good, for those people who don't know what green means. She was so bad in the ring, it felt like watching a Brie Bella tape. Ho ho ho! And she, we know Brie Bella's a botch machine. Maxine botched a lot, too, in her early days. Even I think, in some in NXT, too. But anyway, she's gotten a lot better, which I love. Now she's the Women's Intercontinental Champion. I didn't have that on my scorecard this year. But she impressed a lot of people. Good shit. So, yeah. Moving on with that. And, by the way, Rob V, not Rob E, Rob V, the director of character development, was responsible for shooting those vignettes with Maxine and Natalya. Was also the man that WWE brought in to work with Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse. Yowie, wowie! Good stuff, man. But yeah, Maxine, if I had to pick most improved wrestler this year, I put Maxine right there at the top, and Tatum Paxley. That's it. Because Tatum's promos were But she worked hard, got the advice from probably HBK, Shawn Michaels, maybe some other, veterans in NXT. They helped her out with promos and her look, obviously, and, hard work pays off sometimes, and, Tatum won the women's title, didn't hold it long, though, but now she's in this, crazy, I don't have any friends, I'm pissed gimmick. I want to see where this Tatum Paxley gimmick goes now. But Maxine, her tough girl gimmick with Natty, a good version of Natty for once. Not boring as fuck. Natty, the boat and everything. She's like, farting in the ring or whatever. Just boring. We don't see her much. She's in catering. She's talking to the girls in the back, helping them out. I understand that, but, Natty's boring. And that's pretty much it. And we move on. Yeah, with that story. But big ups to Maxine G for getting a whole lot better. And I like it. I like it a lot. Or as Roman would say, I'm interested. Alright, you're gonna love this one. 50 Cent, or, a good buddy 50 Cent, who made that Diddy documentary. Oh! He ripped that motherfucker apart. I heard a rumors going after Snoop Dogg. For what? I thought they were like homies and stuff. But anyway, 50 Cent wants to go after Cody after WWE Raw overtakes his documentary on Netflix. So he kind of bumped up. So 50's documentary, Sean Combs The Reckoning, debuted on Netflix. I watched some of it last night. Good shit. Became the most watched thing on the global platform. It recorded nearly 22 million minutes. Viewed in just a week. And ranked #1 in the US and second globally. But Raw overtook it as the most watched Netflix show in the US, which did not go unnoticed by the great rapper that he is, Mr. 50 Cent. And he went on social media, poked a little fun about it, let everyone know how he feels about second place. And I quote, "You know how I feel about being #2? That's like being the first loser behind the winner. Fuck this. Shit." Well, yeah, nice guys don't finish last, Well, nice guys finish last, that Green Day song. Not a popular song by Green Day, pretty much underrated, but... He's also preparing for another huge role in Street Fighter, where he plays Balrog, the Mike Tyson-like fighter. And also got to know Cody, who plays Guile, that schmuck with the freaking hair. So as he thought about the idea that his Diddy documentary lost top spot on Netflix, took notice to that as well. And he posted on Instagram to give the American Nightmare a bit of a shout out. He posted a short video of Cody along with a caption that summed up pretty much everything. And he says, "This guy is behind all of this. Catch us in my new movie." No, I take it back. I ran that sentence on. "This guy is behind all this. Catch us in my new movie, Street Fighter." Cody's been able to use his position as a WWE superstar to network pretty well. Now he apparently has 50 Cent on that list of people who probably have his back in a pinch. Obviously, there are a few people better than 50 Cent to have on your side, even if there is some friendly fire involved. And, that's pretty much it. So, nothing bad, but, 50, little shot to Cody, not too much. Next time, hit him in the balls! Not that Cody has any balls. He has a vagina. And we move on with that. Alright, a few more stories and then we're going to get out of here. This is a long as fuck video. Liv Morgan returned to WWE sooner than planned following shoulder surgery. She was supposed to come back at the Rumble or maybe after the Rumble going into Mania. But, she used her Super Cena strength to do that shit. So we move on with that. Raw ranked #10 globally on Netflix for the December 8th show, last week's show. 2,500,000, so 2.5 million people. Not bad. Not bad at all. Where's that going now? Walter mocks crying John Cena fan on Instagram after retiring, the legend. I like the one at Saturday Night's Main Event where the kid in a John Cena gear, like, was right by him as, I guess Cena was coming to the ring and shit, and, this fucking kid starts yelling at fucking Walter, and Walter just turned around and just went, and took it all in, and the kid's like, "You suck, get you, fuck you, ah." Sit your ass down, kid. Eat your french fries or some shit. Oh, I love the video of Solo at the SmackDown tapings last night. After, they did something with the Wyatts, and then Solo kicks down, the chair and everything. They go into the back, and then some woman, I don't know if she was a kid, because she was like, she sounded young, saying, "Solo, you suck, you suck, you suck," you know. And then he says something about the girl's makeup. He says, "Look at your fucking makeup. Your makeup fucking sucks," or something like some shit like that. I cracked up. I like this Solo, you know. Solo's, getting more promo. He's getting good on the promos because he was like a mute when he was in the Bloodline. Rarely talked, but now he's talking up the wazoo and just going to town. I'm going to believe. Okay, Solo. You got big ears. You. Alright, we got that. Adam Pearce responds to online accusations of an unfiltered rant about pounding tortas. What? I'm not even gonna read that. I care less. Let's see what else is in the news. John Cena's final WWE match finish called the single dumbest in wrestling history. I don't think it's the worst. There are a lot worse than that. But yeah, I didn't like the finish either. And I said this before, and I'll say it again. Cena should have passed out. That should have been the finish. All the people say, "Oh, the Super AA should have finished Walter off." Maybe. I mean, Cena's won matches with that before, so. But to say that is the single dumbest finish in wrestling history, I think Cody pinning Roman at Mania in WrestleMania 40 was dumb. Just saying. Chael Sonnen, former UFC guy, claims John Cena was set up by someone in WWE for humiliating farewell. Interesting. Triple H did it most likely. No wonder Hunter's getting so much heat. Seth Rollins gives brutal play-by-play of injury that scrapped WrestleMania plans. Eesh. Don't want to go there. Jim Cornette actually liked Mick Foley quitting WWE. What else is new with corny Cornette? Doesn't like anything. Fuck him. Okay, got a few more. Rob Van Dam, you suck. Confirms in-ring return after broken heel, so he'll be back sometime early next year. Maybe he's at the Rumble. Maybe he's like one of those surprise legends that show up. Not that I care. But, I mean, his hot wife, Katie Forbes, is about to, I don't know how far along she is with her pregnancy, her twins, so, don't know how that's gonna go. Brian Cage and Lance Archer, everybody dies, snubbed from Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day teaser trailer. I guess they're in the movie. Don't know. Brian Cage, the way he looks right now, he could go for the new Wolverine movie. Not Hugh Jackman. I mean, cast Brian Cage the way he looks right now as Wolverine. I'm just saying. He is the Swolverine, Not Wolverine, Swolverine, because he's big. And it's not on steroids, as far as I know. Anyway, alright, we got an update on Will Ocean Spray following his neck surgery. So that's big news for AEW. According to his hot wife, Alex Windsor, the former AEW Intercontinental Champion is crushing rehab, and it's only a matter of time before he comes back. We could see him probably at Revolution. We'll see. Speaking to Metro UK, Alex Windsor opened up about her husband's current status, gave fans a much-needed health update. She made it clear he is doing incredibly well in his rehab. She has no doubt he'll be back in the ring better than ever. And she said, and I quote, "Of course, it has been a struggle for him, but he's doing so well. It's no surprise, but he's absolutely smashing it. I personally think he'll be back better than ever. I have no doubt about it in my mind." Yeah, I can see Ocean Spray coming back. And maybe, like I said, maybe he comes back by Revolution in March, maybe before that, and he goes after the world title. Does he win it? Maybe. Against who? Swerve, Joe, Hangman, because that match has been made for World's End triple threat match for the title. Don't know who's gonna win that. I mean, that could go 3 ways, You can go this way, that way, that way. We got that. So we got that. And that's good news for AEW getting one of their big name stars back. They got Swerve back at the last pay-per-view at Full Gear. No, was it Full Gear? Well, maybe a little bit after Full Gear. But we got that. Let's see here. Any more actual news that I care about? Randy Orton's hot wife Kim shares intimate photos with her husband Randy, doing Randy's Saudi Arabia shit with Punk and Liv Morgan, I think. Mark Merrow got married again. We got to a newbie. Congrats to you, Mark. Johnny B. Bad. He's not that bad-ish. Anyway, Austin Theory dropped 2 words after, being revealed as the Masked Man, and all he said on Twitter was, "Mask off." Okay. Alright, so we got that, and, let's see if we can go back. So I know it's a long video, but I had a lot of news and I wanted to get through most of it. So, if you don't like it, it's off shit. But all this news is coming from ringsidenews.com. Alright, let's try to wrap this up. Because, yeah, I want to. Adriana Rizzo, you'll know from Tony D's family. She provided an update on her injury. She tore her knee up, so she might be coming back next year. So I don't know what's going to happen with her and my cousin Tony D. If she's going to be lost in the shuffle, or she's going to be with Tony D when she comes back. I don't know. So. Moving on. I think that's pretty much it for the front page news. Unless there's something I did not see. Let's go down. I think we got a little more. Mark Merrow got married. Kyle Fletcher confirms big, huge money AEW contract signing, so he's going to stay in AEW for a little bit longer. That's nice. For the former TNT champion. Great match with Speedball Mike Bailey. I mean, epic match in the Continental Classic. Cody's WWE return deal came down to the wire before WrestleMania 38, which was his official comeback. I mean, he came this close to not coming back. Well, we got that. Alright, I'm going to get out of here, guys. So that's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know your thoughts about any of the news stories I mentioned today in the video. So leave your comments down below, and like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's that. Alright, I'll be back with my AEW Dynamite and Collision review right here on the channel, so stay tuned. And that's pretty much it. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Until next time, go fuck yourselves if you're not down with that. I got 3 more words for you. Fuck you, man! And that's it. Until next time, peace.